Hi guys, it's Wwe51 here, and welcome to my review for Night 1 of WWE Wrestlemania 37. We've got quite a bit of stuff to talk about, so let's jump right into it.
Wolfpack is back, goes on mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of wrestling. Testing competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the rings like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the Wolfpack. Here to prove a point, number one, best believe that you don't want to tussle with them or be avoided them. Come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. 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 You might wind up in a body bag. You took your chances, now it's time to show you we're wrong. In the ring, this is for all you suckers that's strong. Day in, day out, the Wolfpack for life. Tell me who has to.
So, WWE Wrestlemania, one of my favourite times of the year, close with the Royal Rumble, my favourite pay-per-view. It was the 37th annual Wrestlemania, and the first time crowds are going to be in the arena. I think they said it was a year, a month, and a day. I think that's what they kept on saying throughout the night. Well, I think it was about 25,000 fans was allowed, so it was pretty cool to see them in there. However, disaster did strike when it was reported about 2 hours before the main card started that there was going to be severe storms, thunderstorms, lightning and stuff like that. So all fans are forced to evacuate inside while bits of the flag and bits of the stage were being absolutely wrecked by the storm. By the time the pre-show rolled around, the storm had cleared off and it was just rain. So fans were like back to the seats, and even by the time the main card did begin, it was still raining. So for half an hour, the entire arena had to, well, not go into lockdown, but just not do anything for half an hour while it rained, just to make sure there was no thunderstorm. So for that 30 minutes, it was just, there was dragging on. They were showing us already promo packets, they were doing so many interviews. So it did drag because there was a rain alert, but eventually we did get into it. So it was sort of funny, but sort of a bit scary because we've just got fans back. And it's never happened in WrestleMania history before, because this had nothing to do with COVID. It was just the weather in Tampa. But anyway, after about 30 minutes on the main card of just waiting, eventually the rain did start to clear off, and we did get into our main card. And the main first match was for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre looked to become a three-time champ as he took on the almighty Bobby Lashley. And I knew already this match was going to be absolutely amazing. They fought at Backlash, but that was when Lashley was not really the best in the business, and McIntyre only just started as champion last year back in June. But now a different place. Drew McIntyre has run his course. He's not really the best. He's not really as good as he was last year. Sure, he is as good, but we've seen him so much. You've gone off him a bit, you know. But now you've got Bobby Lashley, who's probably one of my favourite wrestlers, who's grown so much. He's so dominant. I really wanted him to win. I predicted him to win, but I still had that slight feeling that they were going to give it to Drew, so we could get that pop. And I didn't want Drew to win, but he didn't. Bobby Lashley, he beat Drew McIntyre. He passed out Drew McIntyre. I don't even know. But anyway, the match, I think it was between 15 and 20 minutes. It was a really good match. MVP was at ringside. There was trying moves. I believe Lashley kicked out of like 3 Future Shock DDTs from McIntyre at some point, and they were just hitting on the moves. But in the event, it did came down. Drew McIntyre went for the Claymore onto Bobby Lashley. MVP got involved. That caused him to miss, and then Bobby Lashley locked in the hurt lock, and after a while, Drew McIntyre, he passed out in the ring, and Bobby Lashley, is still your WWE Champion, heading out of WrestleMania 37. What a way to open up. It was an amazing first match after the pandemic back, and it was such a feel-good moment after the rain situation we've just gone through. And because many fans, who aren't under the age of 10, really wanted Bobby to win because he just won the title, and they're like, okay, Drew, we liked Drew last year, but he's been on top of the match for a year, give it to Bobby. And apart from the kids under 10 who wanted Drew to win, most people wanted Bobby to win, and most people were surprised and really happy that Bobby Lashley is still your WWE champion. So yes, Bobby Lashley, still your WWE champion. Great way to open up to be an amazing 2 nights. However, then we did go into the next match, which was the women's tag team turmoil match. Whoever won this match would face Nia and Shayna tomorrow night, which is tonight now, for the women's tag team championships. Now this match, it was botch filled. Right, first off, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were coming down to the ring. Yeah, Mandy Rose. I want to see if I can put the clip on screen. She just fucking slipped. She went whoop. She just started to slip. Oh, you've got to see it. I'll put the clip on the screen now.
They need tonight to be their opportunity to make a name for their team. Oh, that's not it.
As you can see, it was just absolutely hilarious. And then, I don't think I'll have a clip for this, but in the match, Lana was going to do a kick or something. She completely missed. It was like she was kicking midair. But I didn't even watch this match, most of it. I've seen some of the botch highlights. This match, I didn't think it should have been a WrestleMania. They put the SmackDown Tag Team title Fatal 4-Way match that should have been a Mania on SmackDown because they wanted 7 matches each night. Personally, I think this match should have been on SmackDown when the SmackDown Tag Team title match should have been a Mania. Personally, but it is what it is. This match was alright. As I said, it was botch filled. I've just named 2 of the botches. And at one point, I think it was when the Riot Squad threw out Brooke and Rose. I think it was the announcer, Mike Rome. Mike Rome. He was definitely him because Greg wouldn't have made this mistake. He picked up the mic after Rose and Brooke were eliminated and said, "The Riot Squad has been eliminated." And then the commentators are like, the fuck? The fuck? No, it wasn't the Riot Squad. So then he had to go pick up the mic and go, correction, the Riot Squad is not eliminated. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been eliminated. So it was just a hilarious botch. Those 3 botches I've mentioned in this match just made this match watchable, really. It was a decent match, but it just wasn't WrestleMania worthy, if you know what I mean. It was by far the worst match of the night. It should have been on SmackDown. If they put that Fatal 4-Way tag match here instead, it would have made so much more sense. But, it exists. But I won't go over the details. I believe the finals were the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Demina. And it looked like the Riot Squad were going to win. However, out of nowhere, I think... I can't remember what happened, but I think Ruby Riot broke a nose or something. You can go watch it for yourself, but Natalya and Demina won, which made this whole thing just pointless, because there's no way in hell they're winning the titles. If the Riot Squad or Naomi or Lana won, you thought, okay, they have a chance to win the championship tomorrow. There's no way in hell Natalya and Demina are winning the tag team championship, which makes this whole thing so bloody pointless. But yeah, rant over. It existed. It wasn't the best. Now we're going to move on to what I think was definitely the best male match of the night, if not the best match of the night. It was a singles match between Cesaro and Seth Rollins. And before I even watch this match, it's going to be so amazing, because these are 2 of the best modern wrestlers ever. Cesaro's finally getting his push. Seth Rollins, the heel, just comes off so bloody well. I don't care what you say, he's so good as a heel. Face Cesaro is also way better than heel Cesaro. It was just amazing. Every single part of this match was phenomenal. They delivered everything they needed to do. You could also tell this is probably one of Seth Rollins' first proper matches back after he returned. You can just see that he has got so many more moves in his arsenal, and Cesaro is finally being treated like the wrestler that he is. Also, before this match, we did have a video package which was obviously made by Seth Rollins, saying how Seth Rollins is good, Cesaro's crap. Go find out your way to watch that. But this match just blew it out the park. There was a move once where Cesaro hit a neutralizer out of bloody nowhere and got such a near fall. It was just wow. But in the end, I believe it was when Cesaro broke his record of 22 by, I believe, getting 23 swings by swinging Seth Rollins all the way around. And there was also a move where he did an absolutely phenomenal uppercut. But then he hit the second neutralizer of the match. He got the 1, he got the 2, and yes, he got the 3. At WrestleMania, Cesaro got definitely the biggest win of his career, but he pinned Seth Rollins. This match did what it needed to do. It exceeded everyone's expectations. Not even the titles on the line, but Seth Rollins did his part. Cesaro got his big over. I don't know how to explain how bloody good this match was. Just go out your way to watch it. There's not much I can explain other than how bloody great this was. And compared to the tag team tour match that we've just seen for the women, this match just blew it out the park. Well done, Seth Rollins, and well done, Cesaro. So, yeah, that was the third match. So far, it was a pretty good show. Especially the two men's matches, for the fact we have seen, it was pretty good. Next, I believe, yes, it was the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the champions, the New Day, versus AJ Styles and Omos. Omos was in his in-ring debut. So this was like, well, what's gonna crack off here? Is Omos gonna be as good as he is? Oh bloody hell! This match basically was Kofi and Xavier just beating down AJ Styles. This sort of crapped on AJ Styles a little bit because it was like, oh, it proves that Kofi and Xavier can beat down AJ Styles, which they probably can since Kofi and Xavier are good wrestlers. But it did AJ Styles. It was alright for AJ Styles, but basically Kofi kicked an Xavier once, would just beat AJ Styles up, trying to prevent him to make an attack because they knew it was funeral time when he made the attack. And eventually, after just abuse, AJ Styles ran and made the tag to Omos, and Omos came in the ring, and Xavier Woods, who was legal at the time, I think he dropped one in his pants because he looked so scared and like he'd seen a ghost. It was unreal. When Omos was in the ring, he tried to kick him, did absolutely nothing. It was kicking him, but nothing was happening. So even when Kofi came in the ring, he was just stood there like an ironing board, and they couldn't do anything. And eventually, AJ Styles stood on the apron, laughing, and Omos then just started to beat the crap out of them. He even ran into the corner at times just to beat them up. And there was a move where AJ Styles got on top of Omos' shoulders, delivered a phenomenal forearm to Xavier Woods. He was out. And then Omos picked up Kofi Kingston to that giant slam down. He put one foot on top of Kofi. You can go check out my reaction to this. And yes, AJ Styles and Omos are your new Raw Tag Team Champions, and you love to see it. Omos in his in-ring debut wrecks everybody, becomes champion, and now AJ Styles is actually a Grand Slam champion. This was great. The New Day get overrated. I've said it several times. Big E has been doing so much better over on SmackDown by himself, and I think they just need to end the New Day now. They can keep them as friends, but just make them single stars. Kofi, especially, and even Xavier, could do well as single stars, just they don't need to be in a tag team. Because if you put the titles back on the New Day in another month, it's just going to be so bad. Keep the titles on this new tag team for a while now. Because this was good stuff and it needs to continue into the rest of the year. They're your new tag team champions. Right, so I believe what was the next match? Yes, so we're on 4. So there's 3 matches. Next up, we have, which was a decent match, but I didn't like the result. It was Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman inside a steel cage. I'll be honest, ever since Strowman lost the Universal title at SummerSlam, I've gone off him a bit. I used to like him quite a lot, but now I'm a bit, he's alright. But it was Strowman versus Shane McMahon. This feud has been alright, it's been decent, mainly because I really like Shane McMahon, which is why I don't like the result of this. But yeah, before Strowman could even get in the ring, Elias and Jackson Ryker, yes, Jackson Ryker was on WrestleMania, guys. They started to beat the crap out of Strowman, which obviously was Shane's plan. And then when Strowman got into the steel cage and the bell had rung, Shane had the steel chair and he started to whack Strowman with the chair. So obviously he got the upper hand. Eventually Shane tried to escape, but Strowman pulled it back in. The chair was outside, so now Strowman could unleash on Shane. So this was just Shane McMahon trying to escape, Strowman trying to beat the crap out of him, but Shane was put up a really decent fight against a stupid monster. Stupid. And he was just smashing him with all sorts. Elias and Jackson Ryker tried to get back, but Strowman was like, no you don't, pushed them off. There was one time when Shane McMahon actually dropped a toolbox on Braun Strowman's head, where if that was real, he'd be knocked unconscious. There's no coming back from that. But yeah, and then Shane McMahon tried to escape again, but he was like being cocky, like waving to Strowman, but Braun Strowman catched his hand and he ripped the entire side of the cage off to pull Shane McMahon back in. If I was Shane McMahon, I would have just jumped out and, okay, if I get hurt, I've won. But eventually, there was on the top of the cage, Braun Strowman was actually on top of the cage with Shane McMahon. He threw Shane McMahon into the ring, there's Shane McMahon's bump for the Mania, and then inside the ring, Braun Strowman drops Shane with the running power slam. 1, 2, 3, the monster defeats the Moneymaker, which is what I didn't want. I really, really wanted Shane to win this one, not just because I really like Shane and don't really like Braun at the moment, but it just felt right. I really, really wanted Shane to win. I felt like Shane should have won. But even though this match was good, I didn't think it was the right result. But nevertheless, I did prefer this match definitely over the women's turmoil match. So, I'll give you a round of applause. Just please don't take Shane back off TV now, because I really think you need an authority figure that isn't Adam Pearce. So, yeah, maybe continue this feud, maybe not, but whatever. This match was decent. Next up, we moved into the most impressive match. It was the in-ring debut of celebrity rapper Bad Bunny. He was teaming with Damian Priest to take on Hey, hey, hop, hop, it's the Miz and John Morgan. I can't say this out. It's the Miz and Morrison. Can I just say, though, this match took forever to set up. Holy crap. This match took so long. First off, the Miz and John Morrison's entrance, there's about 50 million bunnies coming out. And then Miz and Morrison came out rapping. Eventually, Damian Priest came out. But then Bad Bunny came out. He was on like a big truck, like, I don't know, was it like Ronda Rousey or Becky Lynch? One of them did this at WrestleMania 35. But they came in the ring on that. And eventually the match did get underway. And it did set up with Miz and Bad Bunny. And it was like, can Bad Bunny wrestle? We know he's been training, but can he do any good? And to start off, he wasn't doing great, but he was coming at the Miz and with some cool moves. It wasn't until later in the match where Bad Bunny, fucking hell, he was Pat McAfee. I'm still trying to decide what the best celebrity performance in WWE is between Pat McAfee and Bad Bunny. But Bad Bunny was given all. He was doing as good spots as Damian Priest was. Miz and Morrison, especially Miz, were getting absolutely destroyed by mainly Bad Bunny. And you're going to say it, you're going to point at the spot here. Outside the ring was John Morrison and Bad Bunny. And he gave, oh my God, the most amazing Canadian destroyer. Yes, Bad Bunny gave John Morrison a Canadian destroyer outside the ring. And it was so beautiful. You would have thought a person that has been doing wrestling for the past decade maybe going to pull this off. But Bad Bunny, who's been training for the past maybe 2-3 months, has just done that like that. Holy cow. Bad Bunny, you are great. I didn't really like you when we first met you at Royal Rumble, but that was phenomenal. And eventually, in the end of the day, I think it was when Bad Bunny gave a crossbody to the Miz. Bad Bunny pinned the former WWE champion, and yes, Damian Priest and Bad Bunny pick up their first wins at WrestleMania. I think the person that's really undervalued in this match is Damian Priest. it's his first WrestleMania, and he's got a win. So well done, Damian Priest. Well done, Bad Bunny, and even well done to Miz and Morrison. They played their part in this match really, really well. And yeah, it was just a nice, fun little match. But yep, next up, moving to our main event for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Royal Rumble winner Bianca Belair versus the champ Sasha Banks. And yeah, this just what it to do. I didn't know what to expect going in, seeing it is the main event. But after the match, it was 100% the right call to make it the main event. Both women gave their all. Sasha was acting like a bit of a bully in this, pulling Bianca Belair at the hair all the time. But at the end of the day, the right person won, and it was just mwah. So let's just talk about it real quick. So Sasha Banks, she had like Billie Eilish hair. I don't know what was going on, but with that, she was obviously the veteran wrestler. By the way, who's never won a WrestleMania match to this date. And she started. They were just wrestling. They were just wrestling like two people that really wanted the title. There was a few moments where Bianca Belair was close to winning, and then she didn't win. She started crying, and I was like, the emotion is just running deep here. And eventually, after loads of torment, when Sasha Banks was pulling Bianca Belair's hair, Bianca Belair slapped and smacked that hair just across the waist of Sasha Banks. And it didn't just hit hard like normal. She cut her open. But I'll try and put something on the screen now. She cut Sasha Banks open with that hair. So she was cut open, and eventually, after some fighting, she did hit the KOD, the kiss of death. She pinned the boss, and Bianca Belair became your new SmackDown Women's Champion. And oh my god, this was so good. This was 100% the right main event. This was definitely the better women's match. And it's this match and Rollins and Cesaro, one of those two matches, a match of the night. I think maybe this one. I just really can't explain those matches into too much detail because they're just good matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, Bianca Belair, your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Go check out my reactions to that, as well as the Raw Tag Team and the WWE match. I have them up on my channel right now. Well, they should be, unless it's been taken down. So overall, night one of WrestleMania 37. Really, really solid. It was obviously with the exception of the rain delay and maybe the tag team turmoil and the results to Strowman versus Shane. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed the WWE title match. Cesaro versus Rollins was phenomenal. The Raw tag match did what it needed to do and was really good. The match in general for Strowman versus Shane was quite good. Bad Bunny versus Miz and Morrison was really fun and nice. And obviously the main event was just absolutely amazing. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow for night 2 review for WrestleMania 37. Which we've got some amazing matches like Edge, Bryan, Roman for the Universal title. We've got Rhea versus Asuka, Big E versus Apollo Crews for the IC title. But yeah, I will see you guys then. I'm Blitzable51. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.